Hey guys, and welcome to or back to the Pause and Pursuit podcast with your host, Summer Clark. Guess what? I am back. How exciting. It's been quite a month. I think it's been a month, is it now? Yeah, I think it's been a month. So instead of a weekly recap, we're going to recap it all. We're going to recap from last time I spoke to you guys, which I'm pretty sure was a month ago today, actually. So we're going to recap EO, we're going to recap KCI, and we're going to recap Dogs in Need. And then at the very end of the episode, after all that jazz, I have a very exciting announcement for you all. But we may as well just jump straight into it. Tell you what, I've really missed podcasting. I'm a yapper through and through, and I've just missed it. I've been taking out all my yapping on all of the people that I've been at the shows with over the past 3 weeks. So you're welcome, everyone. I'm sure you loved it. It was really nice to meet or catch up with some of you as well over the course of the shows. Met a couple of you that I haven't met before and caught up with all my besties, really. It was a great time. So let's just jump straight into it then. Let's start with EO. So obviously me and Arrow were on Team GB to run at EO, which was held here in the UK at Dallas Burston Polo Club. So that kick-started our agility holiday. And honestly, it was such a good experience. Like, the vibes were great. It kind of just felt like an Iconics, really, which was kind of bizarre. But obviously got all the other countries there and everything, which was amazing. Really good vibes amongst, you know, Team GB. Like, everyone got on so well and it was just amazing. So we started off with Team Day. And our teamies were Marianne, Ashley and Lindsay. And I just feel like we made a really good team. You know, the dogs are kind of on similar levels. Same for us as handlers, really. You know, none of us were on our first dog, you know, but kind of more baby dogs. It was the development team. So obviously not baby dogs, but more inexperienced dogs. So the purpose of the development team was to basically for us and our dogs to get experience running for the country to hopefully medal in future years. So there was less pressure on us this year to medal. It was all about getting that experience on those courses in that environment, which we definitely achieved. So the first run we had, Arrow's first ever international run, and all he did wrong, bless him, was clip a brick off the wall. He had a little twizzle after, I think he thought we were finished, but he felt amazing. You know, he listened so well. Couldn't quite believe we'd done that well on our very first run. Then there was the agility. He got a refusal on 15 as he just didn't commit to the backside of a jump. And to be fair, I was probably kind of rushing off because I had to make it for a threadle wrap after a straight tunnel next in the course. Then he didn't listen to the threadle wrap cue at all and took the face side, but everything else was perfect. Was super happy with his start lines. He got all of his contacts, a really good dog walk. And he was so confident. You know, that is basically what I want out of him is confidence. That's what I struggled to get for so long. And I feel like I've got that now. So that was the main thing. We then had individual day. He was very naughty in the jumping. He ignored my very loud left cue after the long jump. As most of you, well, all of you probably know, I'm quite loud with him on course. It works for us and he actually feeds off of it. Like, it makes him go faster. We scream at each other. It's a great time. He did ignore that. And in hindsight, it would have been safer to blind after 3 and do a rear cross on 5 instead of trying to do it all on one side. But at the end of the day, I pushed for a route that would have been faster for him because rears do slow him down a little bit. He loves to chase me. So I did go for that. And I don't regret it in a sense because I'm like, well, it's individual and you got to push, which is what I did. Another thing, I'm really happy I attacked all of the courses at EO, didn't let my nerves get to me. And I ran them all as I wanted to, which was super. He then misjudged a jump and completely demolished it. He landed on the pole and I was thanking my lucky stars that he was fine. It looked pretty nasty on the video, but he was totally fine. Gave him a rub over afterwards and everything, and he was totally fine. So we were very lucky there. But again, he had a lot of really good skills in that run. And then the individual agility, I did kind of let external noise get in my head. That did affect my mentality and I didn't go with my gut. So I should have just stuck to my original plan of leaving him in the weaves, because that meant I could get to the next obstacle in time. And he did do that perfectly the second time. But first, I listened to external noise, other dogs' runs, etc., and hung back in the weaves to make sure he didn't pop out of them. But then I was not in the right place for the next section, and he took a jump because that was in the line between us, if that makes sense. He then ran past another jump further on the course, but as we'd already got E'd, I thought, let's push for a bit more speed. Let's push to see if I can make a blind. And he did run past it, but I got the blind in. And, once you're E'd, you may as well just think, well, this is an EO course. I want to make the most of it and see what we can do on it. So you just kind of go for the rest of it. But that was entirely a poor choice on my behalf. I wouldn't even say a poor choice because my actual choice was the way I wanted to do it, but I just really let the fear of not doing what other people were sort of saying that I should probably do, and what other dogs were going wrong with. Do you know what I mean? I really let that affect me, and I was worried that if I went with my way of doing it, then, I'd be wrong and all these people would be like, well, we told you, blah, blah, blah. But in hindsight, I just got to run it the way I want to run it. I got to trust my gut, and that is proof of it. I know Arrow better than everyone else. And then the final day of EO, we weren't actually meant to run, but our team were selected to run as white dogs in the team final, which was super cool. Arrow just ran past the last jump and got a refusal it was basically dog walk, tunnel, jump, and I was way behind, and he just didn't have that drive and confidence to keep going without me. So we just got a refusal there, but the rest of it was great, and it was really, really fun to run in a team like that. I went first because of Arrow's iffy start line sometimes, so I could get his start line nice and solid. Didn't have to worry about getting him over the first jump to the whistle or anything if I went second, third or fourth. And that was it. It was all over. Those were our 4 runs. It was honestly incredible. It was an absolute privilege to represent GB, and I just really hope we get to experience it again in the future, as I'm sure we will, with hard work. But yeah, obviously now we're working towards fighting for our place on next year's team. And yeah, it was just incredible, watching some of those foreign handlers that are like at the very top of their game in person, that I follow on Instagram and watch their runs on Instagram and stuff, and seeing that in person and them medaling was unbelievably inspiring, like truly, truly inspirational. And it just really piques the motivation. But no, it was a great time. I can't say that I can't say I'm pleased with our result, because I'm not. I am a little bit disappointed because I know Arrow could medal because of his speed, but obviously we didn't. But realistically, we probably weren't going to on the development year anyway. That wasn't the point of the development team. But his potential is so there, and that really does excite me for the future. With just a few more tweaks, a little bit more work and experience, I think we've got great potential for the team in future years. And that's not me being cocky, that's me being positive, giving him the credit. Do you know what I mean? That he deserves, because he is a fabulous dog. Sorry, I just started playing a video. I'm just looking back through my videos on Instagram while I talk to the podcast, because I'm just kind of trying to get back into the headspace I was at the event. And even watching it back now, like I put up a video of all of Arrow's best bits at the end, because I did get a little bit down about our kind of lack of results. So I made a compilation video of all of our best bits, and honestly, he looks insane. I look like I'm going for it and running properly. Some of the skills that he showed, well, a lot of the skills he showed were fantastic. And, if you because I just focused on the negatives for quite a few days after, all the things that went wrong and how to improve them, etc. My brain just does that automatically, really. But then I thought, well, you know what? We deserve a day where I just think about all the positives. So I put them in a little video, and he looks insane. He definitely looks like he should be there. I'm really proud of him. I'm proud of myself. It's hard to be proud of yourself sometimes, isn't it? We're very critical of ourselves. But yeah, looking back at that, I'm super pleased with him, and he was truly awesome. So, excuse me, I've just had my lunch. Right. TMI, I know, burping. So KCI then. So straight from EO, home for one night, and then to KCI. So day 1 of KCI, we had such a good day, like really, really good. We won British Open jumping, came 3rd in British Open agility, and then won the British Open overall, which was absolutely insane. Like, generally, I was like, what? Which meant we ran last in the final for the following day. We also had another win in YKC Jumping Cup because, before anyone asks me, ABC points. Like, don't come at me, come for the YKC rules, because I need to keep doing them if I want to qualify for that extra class at Crufts. And I want to qualify for an extra class at Crufts, not just because I want to win more at Crufts, but also because I want Arrow to get all the possible experience he can, especially at events like that. So yeah, don't come at me. Come at the rules. They'll probably change soon. I feel like everyone moans about people that have already qualified running, but then the rules actively encourage you to for ABC. If ABC wasn't there, then there wouldn't really be a point, would there? But there is. So it is what it is. I only have, I've qualified for everything now in YKC for Crufts next year. And then I only have Crufts 2026 to qualify for, and then I'm too old. So I've only got 2025 and 2026 in the YKC at Crufts anyway. So the rules probably will stay the same during that time. But yeah, anyway, we'll get onto that a bit more later. So day 2 of KCI, and we bagged 2 Crufts qualifications in YKC pairs. So I stole Dude off Rory, and Rory ran Wiz. That was a mouthful. And we won. Wiz just had a pole, but Dude was clear, and we were super fast, so we won the class, which was like very unexpected. I haven't run Dude that many times in the past, but he's so good, so honest, made me want a collie of my own. But that was so fun, and that'll be exciting. And then me and Arrow also won the medium version with our pairs Jamie and Dexter, with a double clear and a super time. So yeah, two Crufts qualifications achieved by like 11 a.m. that morning, so that was great. That was also the day of the British Open final, but it just wasn't meant to be. I don't know why, he just did not like the weaves. He went in, but then came out at 3. Then he wouldn't go in again for some reason. Like, I sent him to them and he went and then just turned back round and came back to me. And then when I did get him in, he came out the 10th. But then when he finally did it, the rest was perfect. So I don't know what that was, whether it was the white fencing, whether it was the sun in his eyes, because it was in the evening, it was weird lighting. Who knows? We'll never know, but it is just one of those things. He's normally fine with weaves. There was a jump that I layered in the weave, so maybe that was throwing him off, something to practice. But anyway, just wasn't meant to be. But again, he ran so well. He did a lovely seesaw and dog walk and threadle wrap after the dog walk, so lots of good things. He also had a really nice run in just the normal agility after I redid his seesaw, because he self-released, and then he actually did the whole course clear after that. But yeah, you've probably seen that I'm redoing Arrow's seesaw now. I'm throwing pretty much, all of our normal agility runs. I even threw the Dogs in Need final. I'd already got E'd by the seesaw, to be fair, but I planned to. The only thing I'm not throwing it for is Champ, because we already qualified for Olympia, and we are actually leading the ABC Crufts table at the moment for the main ring, which is so exciting. So I don't think I need any more wins in that. So yeah, everything but Champ I'm pretty much throwing to basically make him 2-on 2-off on the seesaw, because he's just very confused on his criteria. I've had a lot of shows where I haven't been able to obviously correct his criteria, and I've had to self-release like EO and all sorts of qualifiers. And obviously tryouts for stuff earlier in the year, and I never really made him do his criteria that much in the beginning of our journey because he was so nervous, and criteria freaked him out. If I'd have insisted on criteria and made him stay on the seesaw for that long when he was younger, I think he would have just learnt to avoid, he wouldn't have gone on the seesaw. So it is what it is. I don't regret that, but it is a bit tricky now, but we're sorting it. So yeah, that was day 2 of KCI. And then Champ Day of KCI was heartbreaking. So he came 3rd in Champ Jumping, and then he 1 jump from home in Champ Agility. It was meant to be around the back, and he slipped in and did an in. And I literally stood there. I put my hands on my knees and I hung my head. I was like, no way. And then I went and had a mental a little bit of a mentee B, I'm not going to lie. That did send me into a little bit of a spiral, obviously away from Arrow. After the run, I just needed to put an extra step in there, but the setup of the course made it so hard to do that after just having to do a huge threadle. And yeah, it was just so depressing. But again, he's feeling so good on those courses. We just got to take the pressure off for the ticket, I think, as well, because it means so much to me. I need it to not, if that makes sense. Like, the ticket will come when it does. I need to tell myself that. So finally, the last day of KCI, and we do the triple. So we win the Agility Dog of the Year, agility, jumping, and first overall, meaning that we're off to try and retain our title at Crufts 2025 in Agility Dog of the Year. And that also meant that that's every YKC event qualified for now, bar ABC, obviously, which is a points-based thing, and we will find out about that at the end of the year. But I'm hoping he has enough again. So, oh my God, excuse me, I really shouldn't have eaten a lunch just before recording. But anyway, so that was KCI. Overall, a really cool experience. Again, same with EO, lots of social time in the evenings and stuff, which was, it makes it feel more like a holiday. Obviously, I only really see my mates at shows like this, so it was great. It was just really cool camping, good vibes. So yeah, to sum up KCI, it was bloody good. To sum it up, it could barely have gone much better. And yeah, just really pleased with that. And then we came home for another night and then went straight to Dogs in Need. So the first half of Dogs in Need, so the first 2 days, we got 2 jumping wins and a second by 0.2 seconds. And he also had a clear in agility, even though I spent 11 seconds enforcing seesaw criteria. And even though we used all our agility classes to train the seesaw, we still somehow ended up in 3rd overall for the grade 7 and mediums and through to the classic tournament final the night after, which was cool, which I went into thinking I'm sticking to seesaw criteria no matter what. But I was really proud of him for getting there. Obviously, it was a huge achievement again. And then, voice break. Then in the final, I think I went into it with the mindset of seesaw. Do you know what I mean? Don't let the fact that it's a final stop that. So coming up to the seesaw, it was like a curve of jumps, and I was lazy and I just didn't send him enough to a jump, and he cut it out. He missed it and took the next one. But we did what we wanted to do on the seesaw in that final, which was the main thing. And then champ day at Dogs in Need. Another mentee B. So we had a pole in champ jumping. But I was fine. I was like, that's still fine. Like, we're totally fine with that. I was pleased with the run. And then in the agility, it was tunnel, turn, tyre, tunnel. So the path they actually, and I didn't realise this at the time, I thought Arrow was just being special, but to come out of the tunnel, they had to turn to get, turn right to go through the tyre. The natural path was actually the one Arrow took, which was tunnel, round the tyre and into the other tunnel. And that's what he did. 4 obstacles from home to get us Eid. Obviously, that took away the chance of the final, which was gutting. But looking back, in hindsight, it does make sense that he did that. Again, I kept back to do it as a rear cross into the second tunnel, and I went Arrow here, here, here. I was trying to drag him right as much as possible, but he just didn't. He just came shooting out of that tunnel and bypassed it. And I'm not going to lie, I barely even notice when Arrow does the tyre anyway, because he kind of just looks like he steps through it casually. So I was very discombobulated when I then turned around to start shouting push, that the judge had her hands up in an E position. I was like, what is going on? Did that really just happen? But anyway, it is what it is. He's just running like a dream on these courses. We're a lot more consistent in champ courses than I ever thought we would be. So I can't be mad. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed, if that makes sense. Not with Arrow, just with almost our luck in champ at the moment, but it'll come. And I had a few reminders from people just to take the pressure off the ticket. There is no rush. Do you know what I mean? And I do forget that sometimes, I will admit. Well, a lot of the time I forget that there's no rush to achieve things, and he's already achieved so much. But it was frustrating. We're allowed to have these frustrating moments in agility. They're going to happen. So then the final day of Dogs in Need was definitely finished on a high. So we won the Agility Dog of the Year jumping. And as we've already qualified, we qualified at KCI. I held his seesaw for a good 4 seconds in the agility. Pretty certain that'd be enough for him not to be the fastest at all. Like 4 seconds is a lot of time. Usually there's only 1 or 2 between the top few dogs. And I didn't want to hold him for any longer than that because I wanted to, like when he goes into the 2 on 2 off position, I kind of want to release him soon after that, as in his reward for the 2 on 2 off position is to carry on the course. So I was like, 4 seconds is adequate. Like 3 seconds may not be safe enough, but 4 seconds is adequate. 5's kind of too much where he'd be like, why are you still holding me here? Have I not done it right? If that makes sense. And it was the best seesaw he's done in a long time. He went straight to the end in the 4 on position with lots of speed. And then I went target. And normally I have to go back to him and kind of encourage him physically into the target position, which takes quite a while, like 11 seconds in the other agility. But this time I stood where I was and I went target and he went into the 2 on 2 off position. So I did a big celebration for 4 seconds and then released him. Luckily, he knocked the pole afterwards because he still had the fastest time. So if he hadn't knocked the pole, we would have won overall again and taken a qualifying spot away, and I would have felt bad then and I probably would have got cancelled. But I tried. I genuinely tried. Like, I tried, okay? So it was meant to be that pole, so that was good. But yeah, super pleased with that seesaw. And I think our strict criteria enforcement over KCI Dogs in Need is working already. So that's cool. And then to top it off, he actually still ended up second overall in YKC Agility Dog of the Year. So that was quite cool. Obviously still got points for the 5 as well for the pole. So got points for ABC. As we are nearing the end of the season. Really, really cool YKC courses. So Rosie Sawyer was judging and I absolutely love those courses. Like sometimes you get YKC courses and it's super hard, isn't it, to set a YKC course that suits 6 and 24-year-olds. Like they should really split it at this point. So it's hard as a YKC judge, but I absolutely loved Rosie's courses. They were fast and flowing, but still had skills and trickiness in them, which, come on, they should. It's a Crufts qualifier. It's not meant to be easy. Do you get what I mean? So yeah, really cool courses. But the main thing I was so pleased with was the fact that 3 weeks of almost solid agility and Arrow's last run was just as fast, driven and focused as his first. Like, to me, that's huge. Like, that's everything I ever wanted. I didn't have that in Ethel, bless her. She did tire quite quickly, but Arrow just stayed consistent. He stayed loving it, you know. I mean, I attest it to, you know, obviously me keeping up his fitness outside of agility, not overdoing him, letting him have his rest, taking him to physio, feeding him good quality food, giving him joint supplements, all the things in his lifestyle, as well as obviously is just his character and his genetics to keep going. You know, he is a working dog at the end of the day. But yeah, all those things combined, and he just 3 weeks of agility and he just stayed fast, stayed loving it. And obviously I've had to do it with Ethel before. Like, if I came to, say, the second to last day, or, you know, we'd been doing it for a few weeks and I could tell he wasn't right or he was tired, I wouldn't have carried on. But he just was fine. Like, he loved it. He loved his last run just as much as his first. He was just as fast and it was just great to experience, really. So that's it. That is the recap on EO, KCI and Dogs in Need. I've actually got through that in like 20 minutes, which is pretty impressive. But yeah, it was just a great 3 weeks. It really is the highlight of my year. I don't care whether that's sad or not. It is my holiday, doing what I love with Arrow, and it's so fun. Obviously we took Ethel as well. So it's just really, really nice few weeks to compete and unwind at the same time, if that makes sense. Saying that, I am absolutely shattered. Like, I am absolutely done for. Like, I don't know whether it's, because I did go to bed quite early, especially at Dogs in Need. Like, I didn't have ridiculously late nights, and it wasn't even ridiculously early mornings, but I'm just so tired. I'm still so tired. It takes it out of you. It really does. Even though you're chilling, like when you're not competing. It really does. So yeah, that was the 3 weeks. And now it's all about just kind of getting back into routine, back into the swing of things. I actually have an unexpected 2 more weeks off work, which is thrilling, to be honest. And this is going to bring me into my exciting announcement that I'm going to tell you all in a sec. But yeah, it's just about getting back to routine. Obviously, I'm getting back to the gym, which is really cool. I've done 2 sessions now back at the gym, and I do feel weaker, obviously. Not heavy weightlifting for 3 weeks. I have lost a little bit of strength as expected, but nothing drastic. It's just really nice to be back. You know, I have a renewed sense of energy and enthusiasm for it, which is cool. I did still keep doing some from home, in quotation marks, full body workouts while we were away. My amazing PT, she gave me some workouts to do 3 times a week while we were away, and they were so effective, like very simple movements, not heavy weight, but really effective. And I did, feel them the morning after a little bit, a bit of soreness, which is always nice as a gym person. If we love to feel some pain after a workout. Not pain, soreness, you know what I mean. If you feel the soreness, you're like, yes, that's great. It's a nice rewarding pain. Anyway, so that's that. We're having a full week off agility this week. Not training, not doing anything. Complete rest from agility. Arrow's just getting his walks. Took him to see the physio yesterday just because he had a checkup just before EO to make sure he was sound, which he was. And then he's had his post everything checkup yesterday, and he's completely sound. He was a little bit sore in his back, as to be expected, but he got his treatment, and now a rest week will do him the world of good, and he's totally fine, which is incredible news. So thank you to Megan for seeing him before and after. Megan Hunt at Pace Therapy, shout out. And yeah, so that's what this week's pretty much about. Now I'm going to go on to my exciting announcement. So most of you have probably seen on social media that I've been doing some, kind of polls, putting out some feelers on Instagram and Facebook and stuff. So the first one I put out was about a running dog walk course online. So I'm going to be running an online running dog walk course. Probably nearer the end of the season, because I know a lot of you would want to train or retrain running dog walks over the winter period. But I think instead of just doing instead of doing it as a one-time thing where you have to keep up with me, blah, 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 kind of just offer it and you can purchase it whenever you want. And it's just there, ready to purchase, and you can complete it in your own time. I have videos and I will obviously voice over them and explain all the steps of teaching a solid running dog walk. Basically from the very beginning of mine and Arrow's journey to where he is now with it's astoundingly amazing dog walk. Like, I'm so proud of that. And, to be fair, it has taken 4 years to get this amazing, but it's just about consistency. If you put in the foundations, the work to start with, you don't rush the process, then you will get a great dog walk, and that is what the course will be. So I'm thinking it'll be 12 weeks, 6 videos, 2 weeks between videos to give you, time to basically implement the steps, but obviously extra time if needed. It'll be really personalised. I'll speak to all of you individually. You'll get individual communication with me. And if you want extra time, that's fine. Just tell me. But I want to make it really inclusive, really easy, stress-free, easy to follow, and affordable as well. Because agility is expensive. We don't want to have to spend tons and tons and tons on everything all the time. So I want it to be affordable. And yeah. So that's exciting. So that's something to all keep your eyes peeled for. And then I'm currently in the process of securing a venue to train in Lincoln, which is where I live. LN6 is the postcode if you want to see how far away you are from me. But yeah, so I'm in the process of sorting that out, just waiting for costs and stuff like that. But if it all works out, I am super excited because the venue is 40 by 40, really good ground, nice and flat and not soft at all, not going to get boggy, and it's fenced off. So it's perfect for dogs maybe that don't have a great recall, or, owners that are a bit worried about that side of it. So when that's sorted, which you'll all hear about, not sure how long exactly, but it's in the works. I will be offering group classes and one-to-ones. I'll be offering it to all levels, all grades, all needs of everyone. Again, trying to make it as inclusive and flexible as I can, so none of you miss out. I know a lot of you probably live nowhere near Lincoln, but if you do, then perfect. If you don't, I've had a few people say they would come for training days there maybe every couple of weeks or maybe every month or however long. So I'm going to include that as well. Maybe less frequent sessions for people who live a bit further away. But yeah, so honestly, I'm really excited at the moment, working really hard behind the scenes to get all this sorted and kick it off. It has been my dream since I was 8 years old to be a dog trainer, and then agility I found and fell in love with. And ever since I fell in love with agility, when I was 9, 10, I've been thinking, I want to be a trainer. Like, I want to be an agility trainer. I want to I want to coach the handlers, train their dogs. I want to see the progress, and it's just my dream career and my dream lifestyle. So to actually be so close to actually putting it into practice now is super exciting. And I want to do it in a way that is easy for all my potential clients, and just nice and relaxed, nice and fun. Like I said, open to everyone, affordable, etc. And then the last exciting thing is that I've just published that I've opened my diary for agility training and judging appointments. So this is more for if other people have venues or dog training clubs and they would like to host me. So if anyone would like to have me at your venue to do a training day, that would be amazing. And then obviously judging appointments as well, for shows. I'm always looking for more judging appointments. But yeah, I'm happy to travel, again, trying to keep it, nice and easy for everyone. So competitive rates, I don't want to make it too expensive. My hours are totally flexible. And I'm happy to travel pretty much anywhere. But yeah, so all of that is happening, which is super exciting. You just gotta go for these things, when you want something, you just got to put yourself out there and absolutely go for it. I'm definitely at the point now where I feel like I do know what I'm doing. I've achieved a lot. I've got a fair bit of experience after doing agility for 12 years now. So yeah, I definitely feel confident in my ability to provide these services, which is the main thing. Obviously, I have a degree in canine behaviour as well, which helps. Lots of experience with Team GB, Crufts, all those successes, that have built me into the trainer I am today. And I'm still always learning, And as much as mine and Arrow's journey has been frustrating and it's felt long and it's been really difficult, I literally owe that dog everything. He has made me such a good trainer. He has literally, I can't even express my gratitude to that little dog. Like, he's been so hard work, but I've developed so many incredible skills as a dog trainer thanks to him. And yeah, I feel he literally has made me feel like an invincible trainer, because I think I can do it. It's all about the confidence. You've got to have the confidence. And thanks to everything that I've been through with Arrow, and even Ethel, to be fair, and Earl, but mainly Arrow, as you all know, he's just given me that, wow, I've done that. Do you know what I mean? Like, we've done that together. And obviously I have Lucy as my trainer, and I'm so grateful to her as well, because she gives me the knowledge, of how to be an amazing trainer. And, I owe Lucy everything as well. She is always there to support me in Arrow. She's always there to give advice and chat to me even outside of training. So yeah, I think I've done enough yapping for today, but that's a little catch up for you all, and all those exciting things I've got coming up, basically. So it's an exciting time to be alive. I'm excited to get back into weekly episodes. A few of you have given me some future podcast ideas while I've been away, so that's awesome, and I will definitely get those out to you all over the weeks coming. But as usual, and I'm surprised I haven't forgotten to say this because it's been a while, but give the podcast a follow. Give it a rating review if you're feeling really generous on Spotify and or Apple Podcasts. And yeah, keep sending me your feedback for the podcast. Guests you want me to have on. I want to do more guest episodes, as I've said before, and solo episode topic ideas as well. Feedback is great. Any constructive criticism, go for it. And if you have any questions, obviously, about the services that I'm offering, anything that I've discussed today or posted about lately or anything. Basically, my DMs are always open, and yeah, I love to chat to you guys. After our rest week this week, we have Iconic Sunday, Monday. So hopefully see some of you guys there as well. Again, come up to me if you want to talk. It would be my pleasure. And I'll see a few of you at Iconics, but if not, I will speak to you all again next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Bye, guys.